The Baltimore Orioles made several surprising moves earlier today, indicating their future for the 2025 season. What is Mike Elias doing? And the future of one player is in jeopardy for the Baltimore Orioles. Welcome to Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice, and thank you for 2,000 subscribers once again. We're almost at 2,200, so guys, please keep subscribing to Orioles Digest. We're giving you daily updates about the Baltimore Orioles every single day that you don't want to miss. Now, the Baltimore Orioles made multiple moves, like I mentioned earlier in this video. Massive updates. So let's get into it. The Baltimore Orioles selected the contract of Chadwick Trump from AAA Norfolk today. The club announced it Monday afternoon that after the collision with Maverick Hanley had with Jazz Chisholm going to home, and he's on a 7-day IL with a concussion. So Gary Sanchez and now Chadwick Trump will be joining the Baltimore Orioles. And a lot of fans are pretty upset as why did Mike Elias call up Samuel Basallo? But there's another indication to this roster move that has another player that we had high hopes for in a big career in a hopeful salary season that has not performed well. So let's get into our first topic of the day. Ryan Mountcastle. Yes. So if I pull the article up, Ryan Mountcastle is on the IL now. Because of Ryan Mountcastle strain, and they thought he was going to be back in 7 to 15 days. Now you had to bring up Trevor Trump from AAA, so you had to DFA someone or you had to put somebody on the L. And Ryan Mountcastle has been transferred to 60-day IL. Before we get into this move with Ryan Mountcastle, I want to take you into a deep dive of what Mountcastle has done this year and if it's finally time for the Baltimore to move on from him after the season. Ryan Mountcastle this year, only 2 home runs. That's very surprising. For Mountcastle's sake, he was a guy that we expected to hit over 25 home runs, 30 home runs. His rookie season, he looked like one of the best hitters in baseball. And now it's just not even good. 15 RBIs, a 280 on base percentage. That's the concerning thing for Ryan Mountcastle. A 280 on base percentage. Come on, and only 46 hits. Ryan Mountcastle has not played good this season. He hasn't been the guy that we all expected and really wanted to be. So that's going to lead me into my point, and we're going to talk more about Ryan Mountcastle in this video. After suffering a grade 2 hamstring strain on May 30th, Ryan Mountcastle was placed on the IL 1 day later. Now, the Orioles never provided a good timeline for Mountcastle when he will be back. So, now is expected that Mountcastle will be out for 8 to 12 weeks due to a moderate hamstring strain, which I'm pretty sure is a bad hamstring strain if you have to be out 8 to 12 weeks. Pretty concerning for his health for the rest of the season and his future with the Baltimore Orioles. So, this move on his 60-day IL won't indicate when he will return or affect if he's decreasing his program or his rehab is going bad. It's just the Orioles have a plan that Ryan O'Hearn is going to have the most bulk at first base, and then you move Kobe Mayo with occasionally mixing in at first base and DH. So that gives me another option. Do you bring up another guy like Heston Kjerstad again? Give him another opportunity. I know you needed another catcher and Samuel Basallo. A lot of people have mentioned this. They've been attacking me saying you need to call him up. You need to call him up. Guys, no. He needs to develop as a catcher. The Orioles are making this plan right. So, and then the service time manipulation. I know a lot of people don't like this, but I can get a draft pick and I can get an extra service time for Samuel Basallo just by waiting to call him up in a late end of the season. I will do that every single time. So he has the running for rookie of the year next year and he wins it. You can draft pick, compensation, everything that you need. I think Mike Elias is doing the right plan. Now, and I don't agree Mike Elias has done the Orioles right. I would give him a D this far in 2025 and 2026 of what he provided this year. I don't think he did the best he could, but that's another story for a different day. But what we're talking about right now is Ryan Mountcastle on the IL once again. As every single year Mountcastle's hurt, he's dealing with injury. It's time for the Orioles to move on from him. You know, he's a fan favorite. Everyone love Ryan Mountcastle. When he's healthy, he's very good. But on base percentage of 280 this season. 280 is very low. That means he's barely on base, maybe less than 5 times a series. That's concerning when you have a guy hitting that 4 or 5 hole that you want power, extra base hits, you want home runs, you want guys like Jackson Holliday who's on third, Mountcastle's at the plate, and O'Hearn's on first. You want him to drive them in. He hasn't done that good this year. So I actually think the Orioles will go in a different direction. I thought they would trade Ryan Mountcastle at the trade deadline after not finding a trade partner for him this offseason, in which I don't think Elias was even thinking about trading anyone this offseason, in which that was another bad mistake. Speaking about Elias, I'm talking about him. He's made all these moves. A lot of people won't agree, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the Chadwick signing. Let's see if I can pull up the information on that. I know the Baltimore Orioles just got him, but we're going to take a look at all his stats. Okay, yeah. So the Orioles got Chadwick, and it's not bad. You think of a guy that's you're just claiming off of waivers for a guy that just fill in for Gary Sanchez when he's behind the plate. Just another guy on the roster. He's not a guy that's going to provide ton of experience, but he's at his stints. He's been in different organizations. He's been in successful in AAA, and even though AAA is a big jump from MLB, he's been up, he's been down. So he has experience. It's not an eye-breaking move. I know a lot of people want to be upset that Basallo's not up, but I have to mention this: Basallo has not played catcher a lot this season. Catcher is a position that you need to develop. It's not any other position that you can just go for AAA to MLB and you find a new position. You see a lot of guys in AAA. They play outfield, they play second, then they go to the MLB. They're first DH. They learn how to play second. They learn how to play first every day. It's different positions when you come to MLB, different spots on this team. And as bad as we need a catcher, I know Adley Rutschman's on the IL, and John talked about that in his previous video a couple of videos ago. So if you want to check that out, please go check that out. But another about Adley Rutschman, it was tough seeing him. So I don't think the Orioles should call Sammy Basallo up. I think they should wait, get the service time, call him, and make him September call up. Probably call up a guy like Dylan Beaver and see what he got. I think that's what Elias should do. Right now, I don't think Elias is on a hot seat. I just think this year is just a lot of disappointment, and it starts with over 22 guys have been on IL this season. It's insane. Pretty insane. And these two guys are the only guys left that's supporting his team. So I hope Mike Elias can get a contract extension with Gunnar Henderson and Jackson Holliday very soon, because these are our focal points for the season. And we need these guys in order to compete in the AL East, because the season's over. You have to be sellers at the trade deadline. You have to sell everyone. You might try to bring in a guy like Dylan Cease if you can get him at the deadline. Hopefully he's very good. Try to extend him, get another arm for next season. You'll have Kyle Bradish back. As much as I say, I don't think Grace Rodriguez is going to pitch again this season. That's sad because I had big hopes. You guys know I had big hope for Grace Rodriguez and he didn't provide it. So that's all the updates we have for the Baltimore Orioles today. Chadwick came up. Mountcastle has been moved to the 60-day IL. And we have a catcher position of Gary Sanchez now. That's our main catcher. So a lot of injuries. A lot of people have mentioned James McCann. I thought that's a guy you could call up, but it seems like the Orioles have already figured their plan out. Once again, thank you for joining Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice, and thank you for this episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Interact with us in the comments. We're giving you daily updates about the Baltimore Orioles every single day, so we don't want you to miss. This is the only YouTube channel on the MLB about the Baltimore Orioles that you can catch every single update. So, what are you doing? Turn on post notifications, hit that subscribe button. From Orioles Digest, once again, I'm your host, Kam Brice.